In the Den with the TRU Wolfpack.
This weekend will mark the start of the preseason for one team, the beginning of the regular season for two more, and two others playing for pride and respect. It begins tonight when the men's basketball team plays its long-awaited first exhibition game. The Wolfpack will take on the Pac West Columbia Bible College at the Tournament Capital Center. Head coach Scott Clark has 6 players returning from the team that made the Canada West playoffs for the first time last season. The regular Canada West season for TRU doesn't get underway until November the 7th. And after consecutive weekends on the road, the soccer teams are back home for 2 games against the University of Northern BC Timberwolves from Prince George. It hasn't been a fun season for the Wolfpack in their baptism in Canada West. The women are winless in their first 8 Canada West starts. They haven't scored a goal since the first weekend of the season, and they're out of playoff contention. UNBC has only a pair of ties to show for its first 10 games, and with this their final weekend of the season, the Timberwolves are also out of the playoff picture. Note the start time of these games. Tomorrow, it's a Friday matinee beginning at 1 o'clock at Hillside and then noon on Saturday. And the Wolfpack men have lost 7 in a row since a tie in the first game of the season. While they aren't mathematically out of the playoff hunt, it would take a major miracle to make it. With 3 points awarded for a win and 4 games left, the Wolfpack are 11 points out of the final playoff. These are must-win games, or this is a must-win game, both of these for UNBC. With 2 games left, the Timberwolves are 3 points out of that last playoff spot. Volleyball begins a new season with games at Trinity Western tomorrow and Saturday. And after taking over as head coach partway through last season, Chad Grimm did some aggressive recruiting in the offseason. After going winless in each of the last 2 seasons, the Wolfpack women had an encouraging preseason this fall. They won 5 and lost 3, some of that competition being against NCAA and Canada West competition at Langley this weekend. The Wolfpack should find out just how much they've improved. They take on a Spartans team that was 17-5 a year ago. And no Wolfpack team in Canada West has had as much success as men's volleyball. Bronze medals in Canada West in 08, 09, and again last season, a bronze medal at CIS Nationals in 2008. 13-9 a season ago, the Wolfpack take on a Spartan squad that was 20-2 in 2013-14 and finished with a silver medal in Canada West. Cross country is another Wolfpack program that made the jump from Canadian college to Canadian inter-university sport this season. The Wolfpack team has only a few more weeks to prepare for CIS Nationals, and this weekend they're going to be in Bellingham to take part in a race being hosted by the NCAA Western Washington Vikings.
The cross-country teams go into the 2014 season like many of the Wolfpack squads, knowing they have an uphill climb in their first crack at the CIS, and no amount of hill training can help avoid the struggles.
Realistically, probably not to finish last. I mean, that's being very realistic about it. We have, there's some tremendous teams in CIS, so we know that. It's a step up, but our aim can be higher now. I mean, we need to start looking at more emphasis on recruiting.
Coach Jack Miller says the men have a better team this year with a faster group of runners, but the competition level in CIS is that much more superior, especially on the men's side for TRU.
The jump is not huge for women, it's bigger for men because our men have typically not been at the top. Our highest finish ever at CCAAs was about the top third, so finished in the high 40s out of 150 runners. At CIS, I'll be happy if we finish in the top half.
The athletes, too, know what they're up against, running next to the best athletes that have experience on the world stage.
We'll be facing athletes that will be representing Canada. Most of the Team Canada athletes are rounded up in this competition. We'll be facing the Guelph Griffins, who are the best running school in the country.
But the future is looking bright for the Wolfpack, which has a strong group of freshman athletes that could elevate TRU cross country in the next few years.
I have about 4 or 5 first-year people in first-year university, which is great because if they stay here for 4 years, they'll be dynamite by the time they're graduating.
Back the Pack at TRU. It's affordable, fun family entertainment. If you have an organized school group, join the Junior Wolf Club and get in free. Community teams or groups can attend for a small fee. Call or visit the Wolfpack website and back the Pack at TRU. In the Den with the TRU Wolfpack. Enjoy great sporting events at affordable family places. Check out gowolfpack.tru.ca for details.